Coming up after this, Thorzin versus Hope is the goal. Good to see a lot of people doing well in the chat there. I hope you guys have a great day. Here we are in game number 2, map Star Station. The players, beginning with the bottom right. I present your Red Zerg player representing Team Evil Geniuses. Currently up 1-0. He is Suppy. His opponent in the top left. Your blue Protoss player. The hero from Sweden. One of them, at least. Representing Team Alliance, he is Naniwa. Last game, let's talk about it as this gets underway. Naniwa did a great job with the gateway aggression. Took out his opponent's natural. Or not took out his opponent's natural. Well, took out his opponent's third is what I meant. Suppy did an equally great job identifying exactly what was going on in the beginning, but it was pretty back and forth in that sense, so I'll talk about that in a second. Where that initial aggression happened from Naniwa, it was pretty fast. Naniwa only invested he didn't invest that much into it, right? It's not like he made like 15 or 14 zealots. Only made about 5, right? I think it was 5 zealots in total. And then behind that, double forge, 3 gases, right? That was his initial aggression, just the 5 zealots. Somebody did a great job identifying that and only making lings to deal with it, right? He had a Roach Warren done. He had a Roach Warren on the way and done when it was happening. And a lesser Zerg player would have made some roaches, freaking out, right? But right after Suppy dealt with that initial attack, he went right into jumps. He's watching that forward pylon, saw nothing being warped in. And he's like, okay, I'm good. Then he took the third. And then Naniwa did something even more clever. Not even more clever, but equally as brilliant, right? He had another pylon a little bit further back, and kind of in the same area, right? A little bit a minute or two beyond where the third is being taken. Naniwa obviously can be able to identify when that third timing is. And he kind of stored up some zealots. That was going to be his next major attack, right? About 7 or 8 zealots. At that point in the game, that's about the same cost investment per time in the game, right? 5 zealots at whatever mark versus 8 zealots per later on. Same kind of investment versus your economy, like how big your economy is, right? So we made that investment, killed the third. Great. That's a great move. And then we saw some really cool stuff. With Suppy going for the +1 on the missile attacks with no intention. Even got a Hydra den. No intention of making Hydras. He just knew that a Hallucinated Phoenix was inevitable from Naniwa. He's like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make +1 missile. I make +1 missile. Kind of throw my opponent off. Because if my opponent, I can make a few roaches. Of course, he had to make the roaches deal with the zealots. It remains to be seen if he would have made Hydras at all. Because he definitely made the roaches deal with the zealots. So when you're making those roaches, you don't really want to spend money on Hydras because you're already spending that gas on the roaches. Right? And then you already have that unit out that your opponent can click on and see the +1. So he revealed the +1. But I think Naniwa, like all that being said, I think Naniwa kind of knew what was going on. Kind of knew about the mutas. But then Naniwa made the decision to just go for 2/2 Blink Stalkers and Archons. And then there was that weird situation at the end there where he was very indecisive as to what he wanted to do. When you go out in the middle of the map and then the mutas attack, you gotta have Mother's Report to recall back, or what do you do, right? But then it's a tricky situation where how do you keep your opponent from expanding across the map? And that's why I thought Naniwa was getting the War Prison, to start sending that everywhere, which is great to deny bases. And then you can keep your Stalkers back home to deal with everything. But anyway, very cool game 1. Game 2, we got a Stargate here at the natural expansion from Naniwa. Very interesting placement of it. He's like, all right, I'll put it in the wall. And this is kind of cool because he opened Gateway, Stargate, Forge. This is so cool. And when you make these buildings, they look the same, right? And they're kind of timed out the same. Like, he put them down at the same time about. So if your opponent just looks at him, like if he just looks at him without clicking on him with the Overlord, he thinks it's going to be 2 more gateways, right? But it's not. You have to click on it to see it's a Forge and a Stargate. So that's actually really cool. Putting the Stargate and Forge in his wall. Naniwa, so smart. But I think, yeah, Suppy does know this is going on now. Let's see how he reacts. We got a Spore in his main, Spore in his natural. 2 Evo Chambers. Crafty. Hasn't started upgrading. Is it going to be +1 melee? Ah. So this map is great for like ultras. Because like there's so much open space, ultras can really get those surrounds. Really get that pack of ultras. You can line them up like 10 ultras side on side, and you can actually move across the map. Star Station. Not really, but you get the point. Like versus a map like what we just saw, Belshir Vestige or Akalon Waste, where there's not that much, especially around your opponent's third, right? Especially around your opponent's third. There's a lot of open space where ultras can be fun. So initially, that's what I'm thinking this is, right? 1-1, layer already on the way. Once the layer finishes, right away, Infestation Pit. And some players will kind of deviate their strategies a little bit at that point, right? Some players will go directly for the ultras, skip the 3-3, right? Just stay on 2-2, just go really fast ultras. Some players will actually get Pathfinder Glance on their Infestation Pit and start investing into a few Infestors. And then add on ultras later and kind of get the 3-3, but then set up their additional bases a little bit quicker, right? So I'll have to see what Suppy ends up going for. Now, I know Suppy and Scarlet talk a lot and stuff, and Scarlet, she kind of came up with the style, or not came up, but she put her own little twist. Wow, good Phoenix Rascal here. Catching the drone transfer. Oh, it's good. Okay, Infestation right away. Very standard after layer. Scarlet would get the Pathogen Glance and make some Infestors. Like that she kind of started that trend. Before it was all about, alright, oops, like the last stream hack. It was all about, okay, let's just get the 2-2, get a bunch of Ultras and go. Go kill that third. Suppy changing things up a little bit. Gosh, these Phoenixes. Naniwa. Why are you so good? Look at this. Perfect game so far from Naniwa. 681-0 resources lost. Now let's see what Naniwa's up to. We've been looking too much at Suppy. Stargate Forge. Not a lot of gateways here. It's really getting a fast third out. Really getting a fast third. Now he needs to. He's been identified. Let's see what he's identified here. He saw the fast layer, saw the double Evo, hasn't seen the Infestation bit, but he can probably guess. So he should probably know what's going on. Now a typical response would be straight into Archons, right? Straight into Storm, straight into Templar. That's exactly what's happening. Getting the Templar Archives right when you get that third base. That's really cool because going Templar, it's so gas intensive. You want 3 bases. You want 6 gases. So Naniwa taking a very fast third base, very fast 6 gases, and very fast 9 Templars. These guys' builds are kind of identical if you think about it, right? And that's how COD and StarCraft works. Both players investing big into the economy and big into the tech. Right? Very fast 9 Templar Archives, very fast Infestation Pit. When High finishes, Ultra's Cavern is going to be on the way. Now, it's going to be up to... And Naniwa knows exactly what's happening here. He knows exactly what's happening. Look. He's seen the Infestation Pit. He saw the Hive. He saw double evolution chambers. There's nothing else that can be, right? So he should have a good idea of what's happening. The question is, how does he respond? Archons, solid choice. Now, the trick is, do you try to get Storm? Because Storm is great against slings, and with a composition like this, there's going to be a lot of things. Right? Oh, whoa. Anyway. Is this Void Ray? This might be Void Ray. This explains why he's not going to Storm. So, adding on the +1, adding on 2 additional Stargates on 3 bases. Okay, this is a good timing. Oh. Well, there's Infestors. Infestors are dangerous. But Ultra's aren't going to be out for another however many seconds. So Naniwa's going to try to exploit this time and recall out. We saw this against Jadon in the last stream map, right? On this map. Some of y'all remember that. Naniwa advancing across the map here. Don't want to get fungled. Don't want the Phoenixes to get fungled. Looking, seeing what's up. 4 Ultras on the way. Once the 4 Ultras are out, this is dead. And this is backing up. Void Arrays behind this is super cool. Watch out for the fungal! Oh! Okay, that was a good fungal. It was just a pat. Just be like, Suppy's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm here. Don't just come at me. He's trying to buy time for the Ultras, right? More Zealots. Deny the 3rd and recall? Is that what's happening here? Is that what's happening? Deny the 3rd and recall. Because once Ultras get out, I don't see this working. But the Link's coming in here. Nana with a very powerful push. And this is just a poke, guys. He's making Void Rays behind this. Ideally... Oh, that's a lot of Queens. Oh, great fungal on the Zealots. Great fungal. Another fungal going down. Another great fungal. Ultra's coming out here for Suppy. And now this is going to get crushed. This is where Naniwa should be looking for the Mothership Core and recalling. I think it'll get crushed. Phoenix is picking up Queens, picking up stuff. No, it's getting crushed. Isn't it? Yeah. So no recall. Not getting those units alive. But Naniwa doesn't care that much. Even if he kills that third, that'd be huge. Naniwa doesn't care that much. He's okay with how that went. He killed a lot of drones. What's cool is behind this. These guys. Void Rays. Now, Naniwa has to make sure he doesn't die to this counter, and he's happy. So let's see what happens. Suppy identifying a late game plan right here. Adding on infestors, adding on drones, right? Sees the Void Rays backing up, realizing, okay, this Sling Ultra timing might not work. Now, Queens are actually pretty darn good against Void Rays, believe it or not. The Void Rays don't get a bonus against Queens. Oh, look at that! The Zealot counterattack taking out the hatchery. Naniwa looking to extend this series up 156 to 143. Great moves from him so far. And again, he's just stockpiling the Void Rays. Such cool play. Oh, so cool. It's not like he opened them, right? It's not like he opened Void Rays. It's like, okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna go what I usually do, this Zealot Archon thing, with some Phoenixes. I'm gonna store up some Void Rays for much later on. Really thinking about the late game and really identifying, you know, how we can get the most damage done. +2 on these elves too. Not investing into the armor that much. And this is a decision from the beginning, right? Just focusing on the attacks as he realizes the Zelds are probably going to die quick anyway. Let's just get as much damage done as fast as possible. Let's spend that gas we're going to spend on armor. Let's spend that gas on Void Rays. Let's do that. And Void Ray upgrades. And High Templar. I wonder how good Storm would be here. He's just focusing on Archon Void Ray. But with all these Lings, imagine how good Storm would be. And again, the Queens and Investors, you know what's good against that? Feedback. Feedback is really good. So yeah, here's what we talked about. Getting the +1 armor, you know, upgrading the air. Upgrading the air. So now the question is, how is Suppy going to handle this? He has a solid composition as far as anti-air is concerned. Infestors, Queens. Do you add more Infestors? Do you add more Queens? Suppy's like, okay, you know what? I'll do both. 2 more Queens, 2 more Infestors. I love it. I think it's great. So if he just gets a Money Void Ray onto the Void Rays, the Queens will do the rest. A Money Fungal onto the Void Rays. Nano needs to split up, needs to spread out his units. And try to engage. This is a lot of stuff from Suppy. The Mothership Core coming forward. The Void Rays activating prismatic alignment onto those Ultras. But now the Queens are going to start trying to do that damage. Fungals continue to be laid onto these Void Rays. Does Suppy have enough to crush this? More Zealots being warped in. Now that the Ultras are gone, now that the Lings are gone, those are the tanking units. Now there's nothing to stop these units from getting to the Spellcasters, and Suppy might just die here. Naniwa at the brilliant build on this game number 2 of Star Station. Gonna extend into the space on the right-hand side. Goodbye Hatchery, a game where Suppy has been struggling to hold on to these expansions. His idea of a unit composition was great. It's just Naniwa, I think, is too far ahead. It took him too off guard. Suppy gonna try to counterattack. It's a great move here. These Lings aren't gonna have much value in this battle anyway. Gotta get the Spellcasters out here and doing work, but this might be too much. Nano up 191, 27 supply. Also, Lings can just run back, I guess, but let's see if Suppy can hold this off. Fungal onto the Void Rays, but no, these Infestors so vulnerable. Zealots charging forward, swooping those guys up, and this should be the end of game 2. Guys, we're gonna have a 1-1 series going to game 3. I don't think there's a chance Suppy can win this, but I like how he's staying in as long as possible, trying his best to make something happen. But this should be it. There's the GG from Suppy, and Naniwa takes game number 2. Let's look at the score screen really quick. I know some of you guys like seeing that. Naniwa Suppy tied 1-1. Suppy 283 PM, 183. I know you guys seeing this, like seeing this. 118 workers created, 69. Guys, I'm gonna play a quick commercial, and we'll be back with game 3. These guys start really fast. Thanks for watching. We got a tie series on our hands, ladies and gents.